What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with another review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 13. And that plane is a little low. This episode is titled Chapter 1, Reset. Reset my behind, but hey, whatever. Before we go ahead and get into it, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, you guys, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into The Real Housewives of Atlanta, shall we? Yeah, that plane is like kind of low, ain't it? Okay. Whatever. So, this episode, you guys, I'm gonna ask two questions before we get into the episode. Question number one: why is Phaedra here? We had not one solo scene with Phaedra in this week's episode. Not a one solo scene with her in this episode. Number two, well, I'm gonna ask three questions because I just came up with another one. Number two, why Phaedra got to beef with Angela? We'll talk about it once we get to the end of the episode, but I'm so confused as why she was shading Angela. Number three, this is to Bravo. Why y'all keep showing that fucking Cheez-It commercial with Phaedra and them terribly rehearsed reads? Why y'all keep showing that commercial? I'm so sick of that Cheez-It commercial. Like, oh God, if I see that Cheez-It commercial one more time, I'm gonna scream. I am going to scream if I see that Cheez-It commercial one more time. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Those were the questions that I had. And they're really hypothetical questions, to be quite honest with you. Really hypothetical. Because they're both about Phaedra, a person who I just don't care for, and a person who I just wish wasn't on this season, but unfortunately she is, and unfortunately I believe that she'll be back for season 17. God help us all. Now, the episode, we start up with Shamia, you guys. One thing about Shamia is going to let you know that she's wearing a label, because in her scene she had on a loud ass Gucci shirt with Gucci across her chest. The pants were fine because you knew that the pants were Gucci because of the colors of it. So I didn't see Gucci on the pants, but that loud ass shirt. I'm sorry, which I'll never buy. I won't be buying no Gucci, but if I like buy Louis Vuitton, anything with if I buy anything like that, I don't want you to know what I got on. Like, I don't like that shit. Like, that's just me personally. If you be like, oh, where did you get that from, or what shirt is that? I would tell you, but I just don't want you to be like, oh shit, you got on Gucci, you got on Hermes, you got on Fendi, you got on Prada, you got on this, you got on that. Neither here nor there. I'm going off on the tangent. So, you guys remember that the ladies are going to Grenada, and that Grenada was affected by a hurricane at this particular time, right? So they're going to be donating some things. So we see as Shamia is with her daughter Shia, and they're in their garage, and they got a whole lot of boxes and things that they're going to be donating. And so we also see as all the ladies talked about, giving back. Cynthia talked about it. Portia talked about it. Then we see as Kelly pulled up. Once again, Kelly, girlfriend. You and your titties. Ma'am, you and your titties. You and these titties. Because at one point in this episode, she was, I had been that one look on her confessional, her interviews. I wondered if that was like I wonder what that top was. And then I finally saw it, and she in full this week. At least she had pasties on. But even them pasties weren't that good, because you could kind of see through them pasties a little bit to see her nipples. I'm like, my God, Kelly, we gonna have to. Oh my God, I am so worried about what Kelly's gonna wear to the reunion. I am so worried about what Kelly's gonna wear to the reunion. But that ain't got shit to do with nothing. And I hope y'all didn't hear that man that just walked by my car talking on the phone. But that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Now Britt shows up too, right? So Britt came with a box, I was like, Britt, you could have. She said that she had other stuff, and that somebody was gonna bring it, right? I was like, okay, Brent. But Britt came with a box of Kleenex. I mean, not Kleenex, but toilet paper. I ain't gonna shade Britt because everybody needs toilet paper, right? We all need toilet paper to wipe our asses. So I'm okay with it. So Britt is also talking about her event, and she's still blaming that event person. Now I know that after last week's episode, that person came out, made a statement, and I don't have the statement, so I don't remember what the person said, but just, my own interpretation of it, the person is basically saying, girl, what happened with her event ain't had shit to do with me. That is on her, not me. That is the crux of it. So then Shamia, Britt asked Shamia how are things with she and Portia, and Shamia says, things are good with her and Portia, and he's walking by again, and he's on speakerphone. Okay, but Shamia says that she and Portia, they're in a good space. Congratulations, Shamia. Moving on, shall we? Let's talk about Kelly really quickly because it really wasn't much with Kelly. I don't know why they gave Kelly a solo scene in this episode because her scene was really nothing. What I will say for Kelly is I do feel bad for Kelly. So Kelly is packing for Grenada. She's telling her girls that she's going on a trip. They asked her how long she's going to be gone. She said she's going to be gone for a couple days. And, she also told the girls that she's going to miss the first day of school, right? And they asked her, well, who's going to take us to school? And it also sounded like they hadn't been school shopping yet, right? So she said Uncle Lamont is going to take them shopping. I mean, not shopping, but take them to school. So then we see as she went downstairs where Lamont and her other friend was. Oh, God, I don't want to talk about that lady. Because she might be a sweet person. But I'm sorry. When that sister opened up her mouth and started laughing, I was like, oh, shit, girl. You got a whole side tooth missing. And you might be sweet as pie. But I noticed that missing side tooth. I'm so sorry. I noticed that missing side tooth. My God, how many planes gonna fly by? But what was I talking about? Oh, the missing side tooth. Yeah, I'm sorry, sister. I'm so sorry, sister. I noticed that missing side tooth. But you're still a pretty girl. You're still a pretty lady. And again, you might be sweet as pie. But I just noticed you're missing side tooth. Neither here nor there. So Lamont let Kelly know that he reached out to Mark, right? So I guess Mark and Lamont has some kind of a relationship with each other. And so Lamont was saying he talked to Mark, basically saying that, they need to be there for the girl, he and Kelly need to be for the girls. And everything that he said to Mark, which was about the kids, he was met with an opposing NO. I was like, damn, nigga. Kelly, I done saw that big beachback beluga whale that you were married to. What did you see in him? I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but that man ain't a looker. He fat as fuck, and he ain't a looker. But girl, maybe he King Kong down between the legs. And maybe he got, a coin that just, it goes Phelps. But as a human being, from what I'm hearing about the man sounds like a piece of shit. And I pray for you and your girls. Because that is fucked up, though. Even if you have an issue with the mother of your kids, the woman who you chose to marry and have kids with, oh God, y'all finna hear me quote, not even quote. Y'all finna hear me say something about a show that I ain't watched in over a year. But I was watching, let me not say that lie. I was not watching. I was listening. Let me take that back too. I was not listening. I saw a clip. Because I was about to say, I saw a clip of Love and Marriage Detroit, right? And what's his name? Brandon. Now, this could be out of context because I don't watch Love and Marriage Detroit anymore. I did not watch the reunion, but I know I heard on the clip that I saw, and again, I know editing and what they send to these blogs, it be cut and paste here, right? But what I heard Brandon said was he would have divorced Christina and his kids, but they're now divorced. So I wonder if he divorced his kids now that he didn't divorce Christina. But that ain't got shit to do with nothing. Honestly, I don't know how the hell I got to that point and what the hell that had to do with anything. JB, what did that have to do with anything? I'm really stuck on where was I going with that? I landed it, but then I forgot what I was trying to land. I was going and I was landing it, and I landed that plane, like that plane needs to land right there. I was landing that plane. Now I don't even remember what the fucking point was. What was the point, JB? What was the point? What was the point? Oh, no, that wasn't the point. Yes, it was. Yeah, the point was, no, that ain't the point either. Either way it go. Oh, I think I know what the point was. If this ain't the point, we gonna pretend like it's the point. Because if I'm gonna say it out loud, and if this was the point, then I'm gonna make believe that this was the point. Y'all, I gotta just before we get to the point that I was thinking about, I got just a random ass question. Because I'm sitting here, y'all know I'm at this park across the street from my apartment, and there's a stroller that is unaccompanied, right? It ain't a baby stroller, because I saw the people who had the stroller. They were walking their dog. Can y'all explain to me what the purpose of having a stroller for your dog is? I really want somebody to make me understand what is the purpose of having a stroller for your dog. I'm just asking a question. Now, back to hello. Back to the point that I was making. Back to the point that I was making. Because I keep saying that back to the point that I was making, but everything keeps distracting me. Back to the point. So I think what I was trying to say was, oh yeah, when you marry somebody, you pick them to be your husband and your wife, the father of your kids, the mother of your kids. Even if y'all get into it and y'all divorce each other, those are still your kids. Like, you should still want to be a present and on-time parent for your kids. But Mark is a piece of shit. That's all I have to say. So let's move on to the next person, you guys. All right, you guys. Next up is Portia. Portia. So we see Portia. She met up with Drew, right? And so they're having tea, coffee, whatever you want, whatever it was, right? Because Drew had a coffee cup, but they were talking about tea. But they sat down to have a conversation. And to be quite honest with you, this conversation went absolutely nowhere, because throughout this whole conversation, you guys know I like Portia, and I have no problem with calling Portia out when I think she's wrong, right? And Portia was wrong in this situation. And then before I came on here to do this video, I saw that I think it was a neighborhood talk, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive it was a neighborhood talk. So this black person that Portia kept referring to in this episode, well, the neighborhood talk has showed a picture of the man. I was like, that's so childish and petty, but whatever. So Portia and Drew are meeting up to have a conversation, right? So Drew was talking about how she signed with Dennis and how she has a showcase that's coming up, right? And so then Portia starts talking about Drew filming with Dennis, and I was like, oh my God. Now I did catch something with Drew, and that may be when we get to Grenada and a dinner, because Drew did say that she could have reached out to Portia. She could have texted Portia or something. I was like, but I thought you did. Y'all, when I tell y'all this storyline with Portia, Drew, and Dennis and Ralph, I'm so confused with it. It makes no sense to me anymore. I don't remember whose story is what and what story is what, and I honestly don't care what story is what, right? So Portia said that, she was upset when when they first started being around each other, and they couldn't have a conversation at that time because she was upset, right? And I was like, okay, that kind of sounds like your cancer trait, right? Because when a cancer is upset, we don't want to talk to you. Like, we I will say, because I know I'm guilty of it, right? As a cancer, if I'm pissed off at you, if I'm mad at you, yeah, it ain't nothing that can be said or done between me and you. I have to calm myself down and cool off, and then maybe we can have a conversation. But while I'm in the middle of being upset and pissed off, we ain't having no conversation, right? So that's probably her cancer trait, right? So then she brought up Drew messing with Dennis, but then she says, "Well, you talking to Black," and I was like, "Oh God, Portia, here you go. This is like you are deflecting, Portia, from what you're deflecting. You're deflecting, literally, and like you're literally deflecting, right?" So Drew says that she's not dating this Black person, and then she brings up somebody that Portia's dating, and I was like, okay, Drew, I didn't even have a problem with Drew doing that, because I'm like, tit for tat. If you're gonna do it to me, let's do it to you. So then Drew also brought up Portia filming with Ralph. Portia in her interview is saying that she met up with Shamia. Portia, you and Shamia both were full of shit. Because Shamia was doing that for you to get back at Drew. So y'all can both miss me with the bullshit. Shamia. Kiss my motherfucking ass. Girl, Shamia is embarrassing. Shamia is so embarrassing, bro. That conversation with Portia and Drew, it went absolutely nowhere. Because Portia says that Drew was being combative. I was like, where's Drew being combative at? Portia, you're the one that's being combative. You're the one that's not letting her talk. You're the one that got her from the table and walked away from Drew. So Drew wasn't being combative. But I mean, if that's the lie you want to tell yourself, then go ahead and tell yourself that lie. But it couldn't be further from the truth, Portia. But neither here nor there. So Portia ended up leaving, and that's where we ended with that scene. So let's pause here and let's wrap up the episode, you guys. Alright, you guys, so we see all the girls as they are meeting up at the airport, right? And they're on their way to Grenada. Now, what I will say is, Angela, them braids, whoever did them braids did a damn good job with them braids, right? So then, my thing with Phaedra is, why was Phaedra throwing shade at Angela, talking about she's the oldest looking young woman she saw? Now, I mean, Angela, I've said this plenty of times before. This ain't no slight, no shade to you, right? You do give older than 43. You definitely give older than 43, but it's not, for me, when it comes to Angela being looking older than 43, it's not looks. I know I just said looking older than 43, but I'm going to clean it up for you guys. When I say Angela gives older than 43, it's maturity. It's a maturity level with Angela that makes me look at Angela and think she's older than 43. Because, yeah, that's really what it is. It's not the fact that Angela looks like she's near, anything older than 43. It's just how much, she gives a different maturity level with this group, right? She gives, like, I know people are sitting in the comments that she looked like she would have fit in with, the likes of Nene and them. And I agree with that, right? But moving on. Shamia. Like I said in last week's review, how the hell are you good with Phaedra? Like, I will never understand that. But Shamia says she good with her, right? So we see that they made it to Grenada, and I guess everybody's luggage, with the exception of Shamia's and Kelly's, made it. So I was like, I hope y'all put some in the carry-on bag, and they did, right? So they gonna do room assignments. I was like, oh fuck, here we go with this dumb shit. Y'all know I hate room assignments, right? So 2 people are going to be rooming together. So I'm going to tell you who's going to be rooming with who. So Angela is going to be rooming with Portia. Angela's cool with that because Charles isn't here. Drew is going to be rooming with Cynthia. And Kelly and Shamia are going to room together. And Phaedra and Britt are going to room together. And I was like, okay, cool. So then they took some shots. And under the shots, it was a number. And the number is the room that they're going to be in. So Kelly and, Kelly and Shamia got the best room in the house. Second best, I think it went to Angela and to... I think the second best went to Angela and Portia. Then the next best room went to Britt and Phaedra. And the worst room went to Cynthia and Drew. Because in Cynthia and Drew's room, there is one big, I think it was a king size bed or a queen size bed, right? And then there are 2 twin beds. You know what? I wouldn't even really give a damn, because I'd be like, you know what? Push them bitches together, and I'm gonna have a good night's sleep. Just push them together. So after that, we see as Cynthia and Drew are talking to each other, right? So Cynthia was talking about her new man. They didn't show his picture, but he's been in, we saw that picture that they blurred out, they put that emoji over his face, is the same picture that I saw of them on the blogs. So we know who he is. So I'm kind of confused why they didn't show who the man was, but neither here nor there. And she's referring to him as Amsterdam, right? He's younger than Cynthia is. Cynthia's having a good time getting her back cracked, and I'm not even upset with it, right? So after that, Drew was talking about how she sat down with Portia, how the sit down didn't really go anywhere because they were there for all of 15 minutes, right? So now they also have to get ready for dinner. So they get ready for dinner, and Kelly wants to play peacemaker between Shamia and between Drew. There's nothing to play peace with because Drew's not wrong when it comes to this shit with Shamia. And even Angela had to chime in. Because now let Shamia tell it, the girls are volunteering their 2 cents about her and Portia's relationship, right? Here's what I will say I believe is the truth when it comes to Shamia. I do believe that Shamia does volunteer some things to the girls, and I also do believe that the girls, kind of pick her brain about things about their relationship, right? And so Shamia still has an issue with Drew. So we find out that Drew took a pic. So I saw that picture of Drew with that hair, and she did tag Go Naked, but she also tagged Shamia because she tagged Shamia because of that interview that Shamia did with Big Tigger, right? So Shamia is like, you called me a lap dog and you stood 10 toes down on it. Well, Shamia, baby girl, you do come off like a lap dog. I'm sorry, right? Now, in a strange change of events, Portia kind of did defend her friend a little bit, right? She defended her friend. And so Kelly, here's the thing. I like Kelly, but Kelly is not neutral. Kelly is also so annoying to me when it really boils down to things. Kelly is like a little gnat, and she's really annoying, right? So Kelly wants to say that everybody at the table, with the exception of Cynthia, has an issue with Drew. I was like, Angela don't have an issue with Drew. Phaedra don't know Drew. What is your issue with Drew? Please point it out. What is Britt's issue with Drew? Please point it out. The only person that I know that has an issue with Drew, and it's a non-existent issue with Drew, is Portia and Shamia. So outside of those two, who else got an issue with Drew at this table? Like, huh? But again, I want to know what Kelly and Britt's. I want to know what Kelly and Britt's issue is with Drew. That's what I would love to know, because she said everybody at this table with the exception of Cynthia, and you left out two people you also left out her friend Angela, who ain't got a problem with her. Yeah, Kelly annoys me, but I still like Kelly at the same time. I still like Kelly. So they also talked about, so Kelly asked Portia, like, do you think that you've been a good friend to Shamia? Portia didn't want to answer that question. She said that her and Shamia have had that conversation. I was like, Portia, even still, it's still a yes or no answer. I mean, yeah, y'all may have had the conversation, and Shamia was happy with that answer, like telling them to stay out of it. I was like, Shamia, Shamia, you happy with scraps. Lapdog. But hey, if Shamia like it, I love it. And that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications. Share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I gotta go get some gas because I've sat here because I ain't got no gas. That's why I'm glistening the way I am, and this window is down because it's just hot. It is June 2nd, and it is currently, it's 88 degrees. It feels hotter than 88 degrees. It feels hotter than 88. It feels hotter than 88 degrees. But yeah, y'all, that's it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So you guys, I won't be going live today. This episode really didn't give a whole lot to go live about, so there won't be a live today. And I did not do the never ever miss. I took the notes, but as I got out here to record it, I was like, you know what? It was Friday. It's Monday. I don't feel like anybody wants to know what I think about the never ever miss. So we'll be back. A damn telemarketer. So we'll be back on. We'll be back on this Friday or Saturday. But I'll see you guys then. Bye, y'all.